I have so much to say about Charles and Emma. I could talk about Charles and Emma forever. Once I realized that I couldn't read everything ever written about Charles Darwin, and once I realized also that I did not want to read everything written about him because I wanted to find the story myself, and I started with primary sources, which is a very unusual place to start because usually you get deep background and then you go to primary sources. But I got out of the library a 2-volume, I'm getting teary just talking about it. I miss writing about them. I got out of the library a 2-volume book of letters collected by their daughter, Henrietta. She collected Emma's family letters that were written from the time she was a little girl until the time she died. And there's this 2-volume book, and with some of Henrietta's notations, but mostly just letters. And I sat down and I read those 2 volumes on my couch straight through. And I didn't always know what I was reading because I hadn't done any of the deep background, but I felt that I was getting to know the people in the story. I also read, right at the beginning, Charles Darwin's autobiography, which is wonderfully written. He was such a great writer. And this was an autobiography that he wrote for his children and grandchildren. He wasn't looking at it to publish it, so it was as honest as it could be. Emma did take a few things out before publishing it. A couple of things that he said that she thought might offend people, mostly about God and religion, but she didn't take out very much. She didn't take out the substance, just 1 or 2 lines. But I read the unexpurgated version. I read both of them, actually. And I just identified so much with Charles and Emma and their marriage. And I hope this isn't too personal, but my husband and I have a very close marriage. I read all of his manuscripts. I've been his first, and he would say best editor. I'm his toughest editor, probably, other than he himself. He reads a lot of my things. We're very, very close. We hate to be apart. I majored in religious studies in college. When I met him, he was writing about science. So you can see how it was a very, very personal story. I don't think we're anything like Charles and Emma. In fact, I remember one moment when I read that her daughter said that Emma was not at all sentimental, and I thought, well, why isn't she sentimental? And I realized, oh wait, she's not me. That's okay. She's allowed not to be sentimental, because I was probably over-identifying with her at that point. But that was a good moment. I realized, okay, this is Emma Wedgwood Darwin. I've never met her. We'll never meet her. We're very different people. However, I think that it was that connection that I had to them that helped me really see how much being married to Emma influenced Charles. It's all there to see. It's all there in the letters. It's in the letters that he wrote about her. It's in the letters she wrote to him about wishing that he would take another look at religion. These beautiful letters that she wrote to him about that. And he wrote on the bottom of one of them, "Know after I have died that I have kissed this many times and cried." Does that not say it all right there? I mean, it's such a beautiful story. One of the great things about doing primary source research was there were pieces of a puzzle I could fit together. So I could look and see what a letter that Charles was writing on a particular day, because so many of his letters are already published either in books or online. And then I could go online, because they had just published this while I was working on the book, to Emma's day diary where she wrote things down, and I could see what was happening in the house at that time. So if Charles was when he was trying to decide whether he should publish a paper on his theory because he had just heard that another man had the same idea, at that same moment their last baby was dying, and one of their other children was deathly ill. She did not end up dying. I could go look and see, I could see the correspondence that he was having with his friends about this issue, and then I could look in Emma's date book, and she was keeping track of the baby's symptoms. So it was pieces of a puzzle like that that I could put together, and there were many, many more of those during their courtship period, what he was writing in his secret notebooks and what he was writing in letters to her, what she was saying to her aunt about him. It was just it was so much fun to weave it all together. It was hard work, but it was fun to weave it all together and create this picture of their really great family life.